Comme vous avez dit, je vais vous présenter la ferme. Alors, qui de mieux que mon patron pour présenter la ferme? Du coup, aujourd'hui, je vous ai prévu une surprise et je suis avec Loren, mon patron, qui va vous expliquer son exploitation agricole. L'interview va se passer en anglais, bien évidemment, et je vais prendre le soin de tout vous écrire en français pour que tout le monde puisse comprendre. Hi, Loren.
Hi.
Can you introduce yourself in a few words, please?
Yeah, my name's Loren Bock. Live here in Belfield, North Dakota, farm and ranch. I have a wife, Sarah, and a daughter, Ava, who's 6 years old. I guess we raise purebred Charolais cattle, along with wheat, corn, sunflowers, field peas, and then also commercial cattle for use for beef.
Okay, great. The goal of the movie is to present your farm, but first, before starting, can you explain your background and before arriving in this in your farm and your school career, please?
Yeah. So I grew up helping my father on our farm, and I went to North Dakota State University to get a farm degree after high school. My degree's in agriculture systems management. Also got minor degrees in agribusiness and animal science. So kind of had interest all over agriculture.
Yeah, and you certification, it's typical like the other farmer, or maybe there are another program?
Yeah, it's somewhat typical. There's a lot of farmers that don't go to university. They maybe start farming just right after high school when they're 18, 20.
Okay.
Some chose my path. Some go to technical school for 2 years to learn mechanical skills or learn more agriculture knowledge.
Oh, great. And can you tell us about the history of your farm?
Yeah. I'm not great on all the details, but I guess my great uncle started the farm, I think, in the 1960s. He purchased this land, and my father came to take over the farm while he worked for my great uncle for a period of time, and then he took over the farm in 1972, I think.
Okay.
And then in 2004 is when I moved home and farmed in partnership with my father. We expanded, and then he retired probably around 2012, but still likes to come out and help. See what's going on.
Okay, great. It's a historic farm.
Yeah. Not old history, but some farms here in North Dakota are over 100 years old, and I imagine in France it's many hundreds of years for some farms.
Yeah. It's a older farm in France, yeah, and historic, yes. Since how many years do you have the cow in your farm?
I guess we've always had cows.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean as long as I think as long as my great uncle had it, we've had cattle, because some of the land here isn't fit for crops, and cattle is the only option. Okay,
great. As we're able to exchange, the succession is difficult due to high and land price. Can you say the average price of land, depending on the type of land, or what is the price for the land?
Sure, I'm not real up to date on land prices, but generally, I think between $1,500 and $2,000 per acre in this area.
Okay.
good farmland's going to be at the top of that range, and
Okay.
pasture land's kind of the lower part.
Yeah.
But our land here is actually, it's expensive, but it's cheap compared to other parts of North Dakota where they have better cropland.
Okay. To end with the introduction, like us in France, there are less and less farmers. And in United States, we talk maybe since 2 weeks. You say the same. What is your opinion? There are less and less farmers here also.
Yeah, it's been a problem for a long time. Is young people not coming back to farm, and also farms are growing bigger and bigger, so it takes less farmers. But yeah, it's similar situation. Average age of farmers is getting older and older.
Yeah.
But I do know a lot of younger farmers that are excited about farming. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Great. Can you talk about the different production in your farm, the crops and the cow?
Yeah. So we grow wheat, peas, corn, and sunflower. Probably a few hundred acres also of millet or barley for hay or something of that sort. We have grass fields we cut for hay for the cattle, and then of course the cattle have pastures, and they spend all summer grazing. We don't feed in the summertime.
Okay. Great. And you have a different breed of cows, the Charolais and the Angus. We have the same in France. And the Angus cow is only for the meat, and the Charolais in your farm is also for the genetic.
Yeah, the Charolais are mainly for selling bulls to customers to use on their Angus cows or whatever they may have. And the Angus cattle, I crossbreed some with Charolais for meat. Some just due to circumstances are bred back to Angus, and I keep black heifers for replacement genetics for myself.
Okay. And after you sell the genetic for the other farmer, just in North Dakota and also in Montana? Yeah,
generally. We've sold to other states also, but generally my customer base is North Dakota and Montana.
Yeah. Okay, great. It's a region where there are a lot of farmer and with a cow and the meat production. In French, when we talk about the farm in United States, you say, in the United States the farm is only with the feedlot.
Oh.
But here is not this. The cow have a lot of place. Can you talk about this?
Yeah, it's I guess it's just the method of production we use. There's a lot of land here that is not fit for growing crops, and cattle are the best solution for that land, and it's best for cattle, this type of production. They're healthy when they're in the summer, when they're all on grass, and that's one of my goals when designing plans. Is I want my cows to be grazing as much of the year as they can. So sometimes that means growing cover crops for the winter months for them to graze. Okay, great. And to finish for the part with the cow, where did you sell your animals? It varies. The bulls for genetics, they sell. I have an open house where I invite my customers to come in February and look at the bulls, and I generally sell about half then, and then when it gets closer to time to use bulls, I sell other bulls. The calves for beef, they sell either at an auction market in Dickinson, or sometimes I've sold directly to buyers. If I have enough cattle of a certain type, I can sell one semi-load of steers to some guys.
Okay, yeah, great. It's different like in France, because sometimes in France the farmer sells the meat on the farm. The population can come in the farm and take the meat, but here it's very different.
Yeah, we sell the calves about 7 months of age, and then they go to feedlot, and the majority of our beef production goes to big feedlots, and they fatten them and they go to big packing plant processors.
Okay.
But there is a movement in the United States, in this region, for individual farmers to fatten and sell to the city people.
Yeah, okay.
And it's a good thing.
Yeah, okay. And to finish with the animals part, I would like to talk about the pickup.
Yeah.
Because here there are a lot of pickup. How many pickup did you have?
5.
5 pickup. Yes, and maybe I can show you the pickup. With the pickup, we can also feed the animals, and the pickup is the equipment for the equipment for the American farmer.
Yeah.
We can put the trailers on the pickup. We can feed with the pickup. Yes.
Yeah.
It's the equipment for the American farmer.
Yeah. It's one of our most important things, and I have probably more pickups than I need. But in the summertime, when we're going different places and we need tools here and fuel here, it's nice to have.
Yeah. Okay, great. Now we talk about the crops. Here you grow between the crops grow between the April and May. I start again. Here the crops start to grow up until April and May, and in September, October, because with the snow it's not possible to grow in other period. What is your opinion about this? It's hard to work just in 5 or 6 months for the crops?
In some ways, we have kind of small windows for, like for corn, for instance. May 15th, May 20th is the start of our planting season here, when the soils get warm enough generally, and it's a good idea to have it finished by June 1st. So you need to be ready, and weather needs to cooperate to get everything planted on time. But sometimes when we're out of our planting windows, it still can be a good crop when it's later, but the later we plant crops like corn and sunflowers, we run into issues of, if it snows early, like it can snow in late September, October, then it makes things more difficult for harvest. Or the corn can be an issue with not reaching maturity. And then it never dries if it doesn't get physiologically mature.
Okay, great. And here you're sitting only in direct. I don't know, it's a very good
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. We call it no-till farming. And we put seed and fertilizer down, one pass, no tillage is our goal. It conserves moisture, which is our most important thing in this region, because we're typically dry. By not opening up the soil, it helps us retain moisture when we do get big rain, when there's cover of residue. It slows the rain down, stops erosion. Erosion is a big problem if we didn't farm this way, because we have a lot of wind. When we do get rain, it can come very fast. It's so no-till has really saved agriculture in this region.
Of course. Here it's a very big problem, the wind and the weather. We don't have the same problem currently in France, but maybe instead 10 or 20 years we have this problem, because in France we can see the weather change, and when the summer comes it's very dry, and sometimes it's very hard, and also in the winter sometimes we have a lot of rain, and the ground and the earth go down in the field, and it's too bad.
Yeah, our weather here seems like it gets more and more extreme, like more dry at times, and then more too much wet at times. So the no-till farming is a big tool to combat the issues that arise.
Yes. In France, we didn't use the genetical modification organism. It's not alweed. Did you use this? And since how many years?
Yeah, I use Roundup Ready corn.
Okay.
Is the main thing I've used. It's a nice tool to have because it's inexpensive herbicide option. But some people overuse. They put Roundup Ready canola, corn, and soybeans, and then we have more and more resistance. It's a good tool for us. It's not 100% necessary for our region, I think, but it's helpful. But some of the other GMO products are for insects, pests, which typically we don't have problems with here.
Yes. And when I come here, on the road I see some publicity for the corn. It's wonderful. In France, never it's possible to sow this. And here, the people live for the farm, and all organization, it's for the farmer. And it's easy for it's better.
Yeah, all of our crops, we have groups that promote corn, wheat. We pay a check off when we sell. That kind of pays for these organizations. And some are voluntary organizations too.
And where did you sell your crops?
To local cooperatives. I guess, it probably ranges from 10 miles from my farm to 100 miles.
Okay.
Well, actually, farther than that. The sunflowers, they go to Fargo, which is over 300 miles.
Okay.
I hire a trucker to take when I go there.
Yeah. Okay, great. Maybe later I follow the organization for the crops, and to explain when we started to seeding and when we started to harvest and the other experience. And to finish the interview, what is your opinion for the future for the agriculture? It's a hard question, but when we talked before, I think we have the same opinion, but you can... I hope more no-till in other regions where they're not using it. I guess some regenerative practices like using cover crops and technology will continue to grow, of course, I believe, and at some point autonomous farming and probably smaller equipment, but more of them. Okay.
But I also know many farmers enjoy their time in tractors and combines and don't want to let a machine take over, so I think it will take some time.
You don't have here in North Dakota the autonomous tractor?
There probably are some.
Okay.
I know there's some set up to run the grain cart for follow the combine when the combine's full.
Okay.
And then yeah, I've seen some articles about, I think there are some probably in use.
Okay.
But full-size tractors modified, not
Yeah.
kind of the newer generation of small.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, great. Thanks a lot for the interview.
Yeah, thank you.
Bon, j'espère que du coup ça vous aura plu cette interview. Bon, mon anglais il est pas encore excellent, mais bon, je pense que je m'améliore de jour en jour et j'espère que ça vous aura plu. Et je vous dis à bientôt pour une prochaine vidéo. Salut!